we had men and women who were willing to make the ultimate sacrifice for us so that we could have a country to enjoy the freedoms that we do enjoy.
This card, or this beautiful bouquet of flowers, is giving honor to Michael George McKinney in honor of our fallen heroes from the state of Louisiana and the United States. SP4 Michael George Kinney, class of 1968, Union High School, Shreveport, Louisiana. We salute you.
It brings back the memories, and it lets me look at other names and appreciate their sacrifices.
It gives us a piece of him back.
It did give a piece back.
Especially for me, because I was only 4. So it gives me a piece of my uncle.
My name is Anthony Perlnett. I serve with 1st Marine Division, 1st Tanks, 68 and 69. I come out here to find my tank commander. I lost my tank commander in 69. I lost 2 classmates in high school fullback, Gene Archer Ross, and Mr. Davis' son, Clifton Anthony Davis. I'm gonna stay out here a pretty good while, man. I get good therapy out here. That's about it, man.
We appreciate your service. Thank you very much,
You, man.
Anthony. They're looking down on you today, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
And I also just wanted to come here and show support to the veterans who lost their lives fighting for us. And I just want to say thank you for coming to Shreveport, Louisiana, and thank you for doing what you did for us.
Many people living on Postal Road, Springville Road, and Newton Road in Coushatta went to bed in the dark.
Well, there was lots of wind and rain. We got the weather up until maybe about 8:30, and then the power went off completely.
Tammy Stafford and her dog took shelter in a hallway in her home. She says last night's storm was worse than she expected.
It was lots of loud noises, lots of wind. I could hear tree branches, which when I was able to look outside between the lightning flashes, I was able to see that there was lots of tree debris in my yard.
Tammy finally got to see what else fell into her yard when the sun came out today. A nearby neighbor, Dexter Babers, left his mobile home before the storm he knew could get damaged from the high winds. This morning, Dexter woke up to this in his yard. You can see this fallen tree, scattered debris. Even his porch was uprooted during the storm.
I had got a few phone calls and said it was all over my house.
Dexter and a friend started to clear his yard around 8 this morning. Nearby neighbors who got less damage say they're thankful no one was hurt during the storm.
Thanking God, because it could have been bad.
Dominique Brogel, KTBS 3 News.
You'll see the tape is up. Detectives very active on this scene. Now, just between these 2 homes that are right over my shoulder here, that is where a body was found. Now, the call came in at around 3:40 this morning, 1 block over on Powell Street. Where we're looking at right now, this is Mayfield Street. Again, the 4000 block of Mayfield Street. Now, as officers were en route headed this way, they got another phone call that a man had been found located in that vacant little area there, that patch of grass there just between those 2 homes.
Behind me that there are at least about a half a dozen units behind me with their lights flashing. And if you get a little bit lower, you can see where they're marking where the bullet fragments and shell casings have landed. So they're still actively investigating this, what was called by Chief Alan Crump, a drive-by shooting. Now, details that we know at this point, 2 people injured in this early morning shooting. It all happening just after 3:29 this morning on the 4100 block of Barbara Street.
On Highway 71, going to show you what's happening right now. Walking up here. We just pulled up, and it appears that there are some rescue efforts happening here. Some residents in the boat. You can see just the massive flooding that's happening right here. We are actually on the Louisiana National Guard high water vehicle. We're on Sligo Road right now, working our way into the Golden Meadows subdivision. Surprisingly, that is a subdivision that's been hit pretty hard with flooding, and they're actually conducting rescues from homes here that have been heavily hit with the flooding. They just picked up 2 residents that live in Golden Meadows, and here's a look at what we're seeing here as we're driving straight down the middle of
damage reported off across the campus of Louisiana Tech University this morning. We want to give you a first look at what we're seeing this morning. You can see this is the intersection here. And this is the area to and from the soccer campus. And right now, emergency officials are on the scene, kind of directing traffic and making sure that these early morning risers and a lot of these people walking around looking at the damage stay safe. Now, I want to give you an idea on just how powerful this storm was, packing very powerful winds. As Brian mentioned, some more than 160 miles per hour. What you see behind me are these concrete and steel girders, basically, and these completely torn into pieces.
It's not looking too good out here. As you can see, this tree completely uprooted, and not just one, but 2 trees that fell on top of this home here on Butler Hill Road. But if you see beyond those trees, there are men in there working, and this is the beautiful story of this neighborhood. People coming to help each other. Joining me this morning is the owner of this home, Mud Kelly, and his daughter-in-law, Kathy. If y'all want to come over here, I know that this is devastating for you guys. Your mom was emotional this morning, but the good news in all of this, you're alive.
I'm alive. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. Half hour, we talked about not opening your door if the flash flooding comes above your door frame. What you should do, though, is roll down your window and exit that way. Now, power windows, they don't immediately fail, but they will ultimately fail. So then what do you do? Well, here are 2 items that you should keep in your car. It's a hammer and a flashlight. Now with the hammer, you can actually use this to break the rear window. You can break any of your windows, but the rear is the best because it's the biggest. And you should also carry a flashlight just in case you can't see. There aren't a lot of street lights. It's pretty dark here outside. And right now it would be a good idea to use these 2 if I were in a tough situation. So these are 2 things that you can carry and just put under your seat in your glove box, and always be prepared for that. But again, with a lot of water coming into your car at one time, there are still other things you can do, and we'll talk about those coming up in the next half hour. Back to you. Hey, so I'm out here right now, and I want to show you guys exactly how you can find someone, a soldier that you want to look for out here at this memorial. So we found a name at random, and we're looking for Larry Pulley Jr. It is in order by last name. So if you know the person's name, go by last name first, then their first name. You follow along the line here. It gives their ranking, and you look for the dog tag. So the dog tag here is 19.2. Here's the dog tag. At the bottom of each one of these towers, you'll see the dog tag, 19.2, and you can find him right here. This is Larry E. Pulley Jr. He was 20 years old. He's from Center, Texas. He passed away on January 17th, 2004, and he died by an IED in Iraq, again, a roadside bomb. So you'll see that here all throughout this display. It is incredibly emotional as you walk through the towers. And again, if you want to try to find someone, you're going to want to find the book. It is located underneath a canopy, and as the sun is coming up, boy, it is beautiful. And again, a very emotional sight to see. This is my first time out here, and I can just tell you, by walking through, putting a face to the name makes a big difference. You know, we're so used to just seeing names or numbers, but when you actually see these young men and these young women, it's incredibly emotional. These are the men and women who pay the ultimate sacrifices so that we can enjoy our freedoms. Nate?
And as we mentioned, our Luana Munoz will be taking part, and a little preview right now. Luana, let's see it. This is what you'll be seeing tomorrow for the color run. Let's get her. Let's get her.
Congratulations! You finished the red, white, and blue run.
I think you guys are having way too much fun with this. Oh my God!
Tell me to wrap.
All right. Let's give her a break.
Like to say, here's your pledge.
Good stuff, Luana. How you feeling right now?
A little powdery.
How did you prepare for this run? About 15 steps.
I think I need to prepare more for the powder, if anything else. The run, I think it'll be okay. I work out a little bit, and the last time I did a 5K was about a year ago, but this is fun, and it's all for a really good cause, and I see my coworkers behind me. I think they're setting me up.
Yes.
Stay
away from me.
Oh my God, wait a minute.
No,
I thought you guys loved me.
I'm going to stay away because I still have a suit on. Look at me. Hey, folks, don't forget the color run tomorrow. Don't get me. Do not get me. Have a great day, everyone. Color run tomorrow.